Hit the like and subscribe. Here we have Marcus Morris Sr., who was talking to his brother Markief when he found out he got traded. Listen to what Marcus has to say about it. And tell me if it sounds like LeBron James didn't know that Anthony Davis was about to get traded. Go ahead and let's listen to Marcus.
Like, how y'all doing over there in Dallas? Like, you think y'all gonna make any trades? And that was crazy because that was the real conversation. I'm like, you think y'all gonna do something? And I'm not gonna tell you who he said was gonna get traded, but he like, yeah, it's going X, Y, and Z. Those guys, they gonna get traded. That's what they looking at. We're looking to upgrade. And for some reason, he just took like a pause and he like, bro, the GM just texted me. I'm like, he just texted you. What did he say? He like, no, this can't be real. And I'm like, what happened? So he told me like basically, he's been traded. So I'm like, you've been traded? Like, how? Why? To who? Like, why would they even trade you? You're not playing. You know what I'm saying? Obviously everybody knew the leadership that he brought to Dallas. So it was like, it didn't even make sense, right? So he like, just let me give you a call back. So I'm like, all right, cool. So now I'm sitting there with my wife and I'm like, damn, they just traded Keith. I think he might retire actually. Because he was telling me like, man, I can't do this no more. Like he just bought a house in Dallas, right? So he was just doing that, and he was just like, "Man, it's just too much at this point. I'm not even playing. It's like I'm almost babysitting at this point." So he was like, "I'm done. I don't even care where I'm going to." 3 minutes later, he called me back. And he said, "Bro, Luka Doncic has just been traded," and I'm like, "What the? Can I curse?"
Yeah, you
I'm
can
like,
curse.
"What the? How is Luka Doncic traded? Like, does that even make sense?" So now, when he said the Lakers. I said, "You going to the Lakers, right?" He said, "Hell yeah, I'm going to Lakers." And I'm thinking to myself, bro, you might just have won another championship. Like, literally, you really might just have won a championship. And the part about it that I think a lot of people don't see is that Keith and Luca has a really good relationship, like a really good relationship. So I think that they probably noticed that and they wanted, Luca to feel better, to go into a new place where you have somebody that's been a teammate. Also, Dorian Finney-Smith, he's been a teammate of him, and then Max Kleber, he's been injured, so no one really talking about him. I think the dynamic of that really helped, and also Keith played there. So the Lakers really wanted him to come. Brian asked for him to come, so it was like the dynamic. Once I sat and back and thought about it, I was like, it actually might help your career now. It might give you a breath.
Did you hear that? Did y'all catch that? Bron wanted him to come. Let's listen
Fresh
again.
air. Keith played there. So the Lakers really wanted him to come. Brian asked for him to come. So it was like the dynamic. Once I sat and back and thought about it, I was like, it actually might help your career.
Bron asked for him to come. I knew when this trade happened, it didn't make sense. But LeBron James knows how bad this looks. He tried to get Kyrie Irving shipped up out of Cleveland, if y'all remember, for Paul George and Eric Bledsoe. Ended up blowing up that whole relationship. Kyrie wanted out immediately, if y'all remember. So when we hear things like this from LeBron's quote unquote agent slash homeboy, Rich Paul. So here we have Rich Paul on Gilbert Arenas' podcast, Fair Use, Gil. And he's explaining the trade deadline, all the guys have moved. I mean, because he's got Brandon Ingram, De'Aaron Fox, Zach LaVine, and of course, Anthony Davis. So he's going to explain this. Listen to what he had to say.
99.9% of the time, I'm going to know what's going on. The one time I didn't was the one time we all didn't, per se, know what was going on. It was a shock to everybody. Who was in it was a shock, right? I always knew the affinity that was had for AD from Nico's perspective, so the destination wasn't really a shock. The timing of it was a shock, and obviously who was involved was a shock. But you don't move mountains with everybody knowing. You can't. And so I'm glad I didn't know. And I'm glad that whoever else didn't know, because it probably wouldn't have happened if you did know. Because now you start to open up the opinions and the conversations and different cans of worms. And so you can't get those things done with people knowing. And everybody's gonna have their their issues about it, that's not my place. Only thing I can do is
All right. He's going to go in. His job is to take care of the player. If you want to watch it, go on his podcast. So, you heard him say he didn't know, but did y'all peep in the beginning when he first mentioned it? Let's see. Let me find it.
the one time I didn't was the one time we all did,
Look at him.
per se, know what was going on. It was a shock to everybody.
So his exact words, we all didn't, air quotes, know, quote, per se. So he knew something was going on. He's his agent, man. And there were rumblings that, Nico was making some phone calls. So in the light of what Marcus Morris had to say, and watching Rich Paul with his air quotes, didn't know per se, explanation, my conclusion is that we actually see how treacherous LeBron James is. He will throw you under the bus in a heartbeat. Because remember, his boy, Anthony Davis, the dude he loved so much, was the only dude willing to play with him. Kawhi Leonard didn't go there. Paul George didn't go there. They both had opportunities to go sign with the Lakers. They didn't want to play with that LeBron James and deal with that mess. Because remember, when they lose, it's your fault. You fell short. Always remember that. He don't take all the glory and none of the blame. He's just now saying that he played bad in 2011. Just now. If LeBron James was a chick, he'd be that chick that's always looking for the upgrade. You're never safe. Her eyes are always open, looking to see if she can do better. Because remember, Kyrie Irving, same thing happened with him. They shopped him. LeBron gave the okay, but he didn't sign his extension with Cleveland. But he gave the okay for Kyrie Irving to get traded for Paul George and Eric Bledsoe. He gave the okay for that. He gave it his blessing. But Dan Gilbert wasn't going to make that move without LeBron signing an extension. So that blew that up. So at that point, Kyrie Irving had every right to want out of there. So let me know what you guys think. Did Clutch Sports, which LeBron James is Clutch Sports, which is actually crazy that they're even allowed to have players. But anyway, they'll be their agents while he's an active player. Did Clutch Sports, LeBron James, Rich Paul, and company know in advance that Anthony Davis was going to be moved? Or is Marcus Morris misremembering what he heard? In the words of Roger Clemens. Let me know what you guys think. Hit that like, subscribe. Till next time, I'm out.